الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome to lecture number 14 in the reading module. This is the last lecture of this course. I hope that you are coping well with studying this course, because this course needs studying from the very beginning. Please don't wait till the end or just 1 week before the exam and study it. Study from the very beginning, because this is a skill. As I said at the very beginning, this is a skill, and for a skill to be acquired or learned, you have to study from day one. Okay, today we are going to talk about the topics and the skills that we have taken in this course. Getting the meaning from context, identifying the topic of a paragraph and the main idea as well, understanding pronoun reference, skimming, scanning, understanding parts of speech, prefixes, suffixes, compound words, figurative meaning and literal meaning. All of these skills are needed with us, okay? I'm just going to go through some of these just to make sure that you understand these concepts, these skills. First of all, getting the meaning from context. Sometimes in the final exam, for example, you might have a sentence like this one, either as a sentence or in a paragraph. And then I ask you about the meaning of that word. For example, the downtown shopping area is now a pedestrian zone. All right? It's a pedestrian zone. A pedestrian zone here. What does that mean? Well, the meaning is given in that sentence, in that paragraph. Why? Because we have dashes, all right, or punctuation marks in other words. So once you see in other words, you know that what comes after is the meaning of that word. So an area for walkers only, no cars. That is what is meant by pedestrian zone. We've looked at several clues such as logic, punctuation marks in another sentence. Sometimes the meaning is given in another sentence. Just read the sentence before and after, and that might give you an indication as to what's the meaning of that word. I.e. Once you see I.e. or for example, you know that this is the meaning, or these are some examples of that word. So you have a word, i.e. i.e. means that is. E.g., for example. That is, or in other words as well, as you can see here. In other words, it's given here. So these are some of the clues that tell us or indicate or help us to understand the meaning of new vocabulary items. So we need to practice them a lot. So these are possible questions in the final exam. Okay, getting the meaning from context. Again, each educational system is a mirror that reflects the values of its own culture. So reflects here, what does it mean? Well, let's read the sentence from the very beginning. It's a mirror that reflects. So what does a mirror do? What does it do? Mirrors, what do? They reflect. They show back. They show back. So mirror is the answer. If you have four options, this will be the correct one because it's given here, given in the same sentence. All right. Now the important part, identifying the main idea of a paragraph as opposed to supporting materials. First of all, the topic. I want to talk about the topic. I want to make sure that you understand the difference between the topic and the main idea. If you have a reading selection, any paragraph, that paragraph is either on sports, health, education, humans, the brain, any topic, any title, right? There's one title. So let's say, for example, that the paragraph that we have is on sports. Okay, so this is the title. This is the topic. It is what the paragraph is about. Right? So it's not, if the sentences are about sports, then obviously the title is not health, is not anything else, it's sports. Okay? It's not a sentence, it's a word or a phrase. Okay, now what is the main idea? All right, so the paragraph that we have is about sports. Okay. What does the author wants to say, the writer of that paragraph? What does he or she wants to say about sports? Does he want to say that sports are dangerous? Does he want to say, or she wants to say, that sports are important? Does he or she want to say that sports are essential for development, good for psychology? What is it that the author wants to say about sports? So the author is going to write one sentence, one main idea, one big sentence. For example, sports can be dangerous, dot. And then we'll give examples or we'll give supporting details to support his or her claim that sports can be dangerous. So the first sentence will be, sports can be dangerous. The second sentence will be on that topic, but examples. So, for example, there were 100, for example, horse riding injuries last year. And then, in football, this number of footballers had, injuries in their knees. And so on. So the author is going to give examples. These examples all support one main idea. That main idea is what we want. All right? So the main idea is is the umbrella term, of course, that includes all of the more specific details. And this is what the author wants to say about the topic. It's what the author, the writer, wants to say about the topic. Okay, so for example, we have this paragraph. Read it silently, very quickly, and tell me what you think is the main idea, A, B, C, or D. Being a celebrity is often difficult. First of all, celebrities have to look almost perfect all the time. There's always a photographer ready to take an unflattering picture of a famous person looking dumpy in old clothes. Celebrities also sacrifice their private lives. Their personal struggles, divorce, or family tragedies all end up as front-page news. Last and most frightening of all, celebrities are in constant danger of the wrong kind of attention. Threatening letters and even physical attacks from crazy fans are things a celebrity must contend with. Now, what is the main idea? What is that big umbrella sentence that summarizes all of the paragraph? All of the sentences here, or most of the sentences, are examples of one sentence. What is that sentence here? The answer is, being a celebrity is often difficult, which is this one here. That's example number one. Okay, it's continued. And then celebrities also sacrifice their private lives. This is example. And then last, and the most frightening, celebrities are in constant danger of their own kind of attention. All right, so these are supporting details, 1, 2, and 3. All right, 1, 2, and 3. These are examples. So as you can see, these sentences all give support to this umbrella term, umbrella sentence. So this is how we differentiate main ideas or supporting details. If you have examples, sometimes I might ask you what supporting details or supporting materials are presented in this paragraph to support the main idea. You should be able to tell me that this is supporting details. This is not, this is example. This is not the main idea. This is just an example. Okay? The topic, again. So what is this paragraph about? What is this paragraph about? Not the main idea, the paragraph. What is it about? What's the title? There are several solutions to the problem of sick building syndrome. The most important of these is cleaning the building. First, of course, experts must determine the specific cause in any one building. Then, workers probably need to take out carpets, wallpaper, and ceiling tiles in order to remove mold and bacteria. Also, they need to clean out the air conditioning system and completely rebuild the system of ventilation. They should remove synthetic products and bring in natural products instead if they are available. Now, again, read this paragraph very carefully and ask yourself, what is the main general idea? And what are the supporting details? And what is the topic? The phrase that summarizes this all. The system of ventilation, solutions to the sick building syndrome, natural products or synthetic products. Obviously, this paragraph is about solutions. There are several solutions to the problem of sick building syndrome. So it's this one here. This is about solutions. Okay. And the main idea, the most important solution is cleaning the building. This is the main idea. How do I know that? Look at these sentences here. First, so that's number 1. Determine the cause. Then take out carpets, wallpaper, and ceiling tiles. So that's another example of cleaning the building. Also, they need to clean out the air conditioning system. So that's also cleaning the building. They should remove synthetic products and bring in natural products. So this is also another example of cleaning the building. So these are supporting details. And the topic? Solutions. And what is the main idea? What is the solution according to the writer? What does the writer wants to say about the solutions? The most important is cleaning the building. This is what the author wants to say about the topic, which is solutions. Okay. We have they here. Sorry, it's there, yes. What does it refer back to? This is called pronoun reference. This is a pronoun, and it has to refer back to something. So what does it refer back to? Experts, carpets, workers, or products? Remember, we need to check number agreements. If this is plural, the antecedent has to be plural as well. Or the thing that it refers back to has to be plural as well. So let's read the sentence before, which is here. Workers probably need to take out carpets, blah, 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 in order to remove mold and bacteria. Also, They need to clean out the air conditioning system. Let's replace they with experts. Experts need to clean out the air conditioning system. Do experts actually take out the, or clean out the air conditioning system? Or carpets? That doesn't make sense. So carpets need to clean out the air conditioning system. That doesn't make sense as well. Products, can products clean out the air conditioning system? No. So it's workers. It's workers. All right, so it's basically this one. Workers actually clean out the air conditioning system. Okay, so it's this one here. So again, you might have some examples like this one. Pronoun reference, what does it refer back to? Then we have phrases. We've talked about phrases and phrase types. And I said that we have phrase types, four of them. Noun phrases, we have prepositional phrases, infinitive phrases, and verb phrases. We've looked at how to distinguish noun phrase from a prepositional phrase. In this one, the phrase starts with a preposition. Please refer back to the list and search for prepositions. So in, for, at, and more. Look at them and look at examples of prepositional phrases. Infinitive phrases. Infinitive means to. So, for example, to eat meat, to bring money, to do something. If it starts with to, then it's an infinitive phrase. All right? If it starts with a preposition, it's a prepositional phrase. If it starts with a noun or an adjective, it's a noun phrase. If it's used in a place of a noun, it's a noun phrase. Then verb phrase. So just verb and whatever, object, for example. So bring money. Bring money is a verb phrase. To bring money is an infinitive phrase. Okay? Look at the examples again that I gave you in the slides, and then also read more on the internet. Customize yourself with these phrases and know the difference between phrases. So if I give you a phrase in the final exam, you should be able to tell me that this is a noun phrase, this is a prepositional phrase, this is an infinitive phrase, or a verb phrase, and so on. Parts of speech. This is really simple, yet important. We looked at suffixes and morphemes. Suffixes as in word endings. Morphemes that are attached to the end of words and that they indicate parts of speech. For example, T-I-O-N, shin, all right, at the end, like information. Inform is the verb, the noun, information. So we know because we have T-I-O-N at the end, we know this is a noun. And because we have, so each suffix basically indicates parts of speech. You need to study that and look for examples as well, or look at lists of morphemes, suffixes, their meanings, and parts of speech they denote. Here, for example, we have the word failure. I might ask you, what part of speech is this word? So is it a noun, adverb, adjective, or a verb? You should look at the word ending here and tell me, well, because we have this suffix is used to make nouns. Even if you don't know the meaning of that word, you know it's a noun. Okay? Another way I might ask you a question is I give you the morpheme, I give you the suffix, and then I ask you, what do we use it for? Do we use it to make nouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs. So with these options, I might give you the suffix ate, for example. This is a suffix, so you have word and then ate at the end here. All right, so we know it's a verb, for example, or an adjective. For example, what else do we have? Suffixes, ly. Ly, we know straight away that this is an adverb. Yep, and so on. So beautifully, greatly, these are some examples. So I might ask you about the morpheme itself, or I give you a word with the morpheme, with the suffix, and then you tell me the part of speech they denote. We also looked at skimming and scanning. These are two different strategies, two different reading styles, let's say. You should be able to differentiate between skimming and scanning. Skimming, you just ignore the details. You look quickly for the main idea. You read very quickly just to understand what this is about. So you read the title, subheadings, you read the first and the last sentence or two, and you don't read every single word. This is called skimming, just skimming. I want to know what this paragraph is about. Opposite of that is scanning. You scan for information. So for example, I ask you about a year or a date or a name. So you don't go and read every single word. You just scan the page very quickly. You look for the date or the name or whatever it is. So scanning is looking only for a specific fact or piece of information without reading everything. So you should know the difference between these two skills. Italics, we talked about that. We said that there are many reasons why we would use italics. So written, as you can see here. Here the letters are like straight. Here the letters are written in italics. So why would we use italics? We would use italics for a number of reasons, either for emphasis or to indicate a foreign word. And then I might ask you, why did the writer write this word in italics? You should be able to tell me that because this is a foreign word, you should tell me that, or just for emphasis, to emphasize on something. There is a huge difference between this and that. So here, it's what? Is it emphasis or a foreign word? Huge. Huge is an English word, so it's just emphasis. Comprehension questions. This is another possible question. So you have this paragraph here. Just read it if you wish. And then according to the paragraph, what is the most important solution to sick building syndrome? This is an example. This is an example of a question that might come in the exam. So what is the important solution to sick building syndrome? We read again and then, okay, the most important of these is cleaning the building. So we look at the examples, the options, cleaning the building. We choose this one because this is, according to the reading selection, this is the most important solution to sick building syndrome. So, comprehension questions. Suffixes and prefixes. Suffixes can indicate parts of speech, as I said, so study them carefully. Prefixes, we looked at some prefixes, morphemes that are added before the root of the word, and they have meaning. They partially tell us the meaning of that word. For example, pre. Pre means before. Okay, so pre-intermediate, before intermediate. What else? Un, in, dis, they all mean opposite. So for example, cover, the word cover. If we add this before, it's this cover. So uncover, to make something not covered, to show it. All right? So you should know suffixes. What are suffixes? What are prefixes? What part of speech can suffixes indicate? And what meanings prefixes have? I might ask you, what is the meaning of this prefix? What is the meaning of that prefix? Or, for example, I might give you a word and then ask you about a meaning of that word. And by looking at the prefixes, you should be able to know the meaning of that. You should be able to know the meaning of that word just by looking at the prefix. Phrase types. I think we've talked about that, right? So a phrase is a small group of words that stand together as a single unit without having a subject. Yeah? So noun phrase, verb phrase, prepositional phrase, infinitive phrase. We looked at that and we've talked about it. We've talked about possible questions, let's say. Also, we looked at this strategy. Form adjective or noun phrases using the following words. We've talked about that in lecture number 10. For example, I might give you a word like cell or any other word, and then I give you a list like 1, 2, 3. Okay? So you would choose one of them to make a noun phrase or an adjective phrase. So here, cell, is it cell job, cell fashioned, or cell phone? It's a cell phone. It's in lecture number 10. Also, we looked at other examples. For example, old. I remember old. And then old should go with fashioned. All right, so old-fashioned. And so on. It was, I think, job opening, I guess. So you can go back to the lecture number 10, and then check, all those exercises. Understanding compound words. So we looked at words like this one, big words, and we broke them down into 2 or more words. What are compound words? You need to know that, and you need to know how to break them down. So supermarket, workforce, and so on. Literal and figurative meanings, we looked at that in lecture number 13. So, for example, planning is key for development. Now, what is meant by key? Do we mean that metal piece that we use to open doors with? Or is it important? Does it mean important or main? Yes, here it means main or important, and it's used figuratively, not literally. We looked at exercises in all the classes. We looked at exercises, and we've answered all of them in the class. For example, matching words with their meanings. We looked at words, a list of words, and then their meanings. Sometimes the words would have prefixes that would partially tell us the meaning of these words. So you should be able to match the words with their definitions, as we did in the exercises. Please revise all the exercises that we have done in the class. If you do them and you understand, if you study the words, the vocabulary items that we take in the class, and you answer the exercises with me, so you pause the video, you answer, and then you play the video, do it once or twice, then there are many benefits of that. Number one, you will pass this course with flying colors if you do that, if you study in this way, from the very beginning of the semester to now, just before the final exams. All right, so if you start from the very beginning, you will improve your English. This is the most important part. You will improve your English. Your English will be better because you will know a lot of vocabulary items from different or about different topics. All right? So you learn these words not only for this course, but for your life. Because once you study these words, you'll not forget them. You will continue to use them throughout your life. And then, of course, you will pass if you know how the exercises are answered. Now, if you have any questions or any concerns about the topic, please send me an email, or you can also ask me in the live session if we have one. Of course, the dates are going to be announced by the deanship. I hope that you found this course useful, that's number one, and helpful. Thank you very much for your attention, and good luck, inshallah, with your exams. Thank you.